Good morning. It's part 6 of Andrew and the Magic Giveashitometer, the fantastic Growing Up with ADHD book, which you can get from Amazon. You can get that on Amazon as a paperback like this one, or you can get it from Amazon as a Kindle, and it's $7.99 in paperback and it's $4.99 as a Kindle, and if you've got Kindle Direct, it's free. So that's got to be a good thing. So, part 6, up in the morning, off to school. Oh, by the way, apologies to everybody yesterday. I had such a busy day, I really couldn't do it. It's not the reading time, it's the time to upload it to everything. So, let's make today a really special one. Up in the morning and off to school, or not. When I was a kid, I was told that school days were the best days of my life. Not for me, they weren't. Not one little bit. School, and especially secondary school, for me was a prison. If you left anything down, it would be stolen. If you showed any weakness, it would be exploited. If you shared your private thoughts with somebody, they would betray you. In the 70s, everything was tribal. If the punks didn't get you, the skinheads would. And if the Teds didn't get you, the Soulies would. In short, it was horrible. You had no ally and no support network to speak of. The lessons were tedious and the teachers had limited ability. There were a couple of teachers I kind of liked as people, but even then I wouldn't have trusted them. And then there were the violent teachers who'd hit you for misbehaving, including a nasty little PE teacher who used to smack the boys' bottoms with a little too much enthusiasm for my liking. However, as always, I had a plan. Spend as little time there as possible. Before she was terribly ill, I used to have a really good laugh with my mother. She was a rebel like me. She used to encourage me to be ill, so that we could go for coffee together. I don't even slightly hang my head in shame in admitting I do similar things with my children. As far as I'm concerned, I had been tutored in the ways of righteousness. Later on, she used to say that she just wanted to live long enough to meet her grandchildren. That means a lot to me because I can now, in all honesty, tell my kids that although they never met their grandmother, they were loved by her many years before they were born. Losing her was no fun, and although I knew very little about their relationship, I'm sure Graham felt the same about his mother. Anyway, back to the plan. Graham's mother had died. Graham's dad used to work overseas for great extended periods, and Graham's sister used to go out to work every day. This meant we had a house, a base to work from. For 6 months we played Monopoly every day, listening to a diet of Madness, The Specials and The Beat. Great fun, and we didn't have to go to school. Almost like we were exempt. It wasn't even that our presence was even vaguely missed by the teachers. We just weren't on their radar. Pupils? What pupils? One particular day we were busy puffing on a Rothmans, setting up the Monopoly board, when there was a ring on the doorbell and Graham answered it. It was my dad. Oh shit. We were well and truly busted. I remember the trip to school that day. Back to prison I went. My dad had a Volkswagen van and I sat in the front with him. Every time he changed gear, he smacked me round the back of the head. But this was not the end. Off we went to school, and come that afternoon, we left again. This time with our pal George. No matter how many times we got caught, we got out again. Tobacco-fueled jailbreak. To be honest with you, primary school wasn't a fat lot better for me. In the 7 years at primary school, I only ever had one teacher that I got on with and felt cared for by. Miss Hunt, Glenfall School, Cheltenham, 1972 to 1973. The rest were awful, or at least I thought so at the time. I had dreadful, demoralising school reports and was always getting told off. Here is the opening to one of my school reports. Apart from reading, Andrew pays little or no attention to any of his school work. From here on followed a massive character assassination. But hey, since I've done a lot of academic research and achieved most of my results through reading, on my first day at school, I was told to line up with a partner. I had no idea what this meant, so I just stood there. The clearly agitated teacher came up to me and spoke. Haven't you got a partner, Andrew? Oh yes, I replied. Jacko. Jacko was a good friend to me. He was my toy monkey for whom my mother had knitted a jumper to match my own. Jacko? Who is Jacko? So I explained. And that was it. The template for my next 12 years of schooling had been set. I genuinely had no clue what was going on, and most of the time I'd left school with 3 very low-level CSEs. Just in case you aren't sure, I hated school. I wish you could have seen my dad's face when I told him I was going to become a teacher. I thought he was going to lose his false teeth laughing. Goodness only knows what he must have thought when he heard that I was going into school advisory services. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow.